Welcome to Vike Entertainment 2020. I want to wish everyone a belated happy 4th. Not much went on. There were fireworks from neighbors and people like that, but nothing professional like we did last year. They had something down at the Tempe Lake area, which is a cool area right next to ASU. I put a call into the season ticket people at the Vikings because there's been rumblings that some of the other teams, like the Packers, for instance, they might offer their fans an opt-out option for fans who don't want to take the chance of going to a game and being infected by the coronavirus. And so I asked the Vikings today, are they going to offer an opt-out option as well? Because I know I wouldn't go to any of the games this year uh, because of the risk. Personally, I don't have to watch the Vikings live. I just have to watch them. It could be on a 2x2 black and white screen. As long as I get to watch them play the game as it's being played, I'm happy. Obviously, when you go to a game, and especially the games that I've been to, which are some of the real important games, there's nothing like it. But last year, I was in Minneapolis and actually sold my tickets when they played the Broncos, and that was just as good for me. I had a chance to watch it at a bar or someplace. Actually, it was an interesting story. I started out at where I was staying. The first half was just like as bad as it gets, and I just changed the scene, and it was like night and day. So I'll always remember that. It was just a great time. So I'm waiting to. We'll eventually hear back from the Vikings as to the opt-out option. I do have a client that buys two of my tickets, and but I don't think he wants to go. Uh, as bad as other people would want to go. But I'm going to give him send him an email and see what his thoughts are. But I'm certainly not going to go, and I don't think the tickets. Well, they're going to have limited people, so I think everyone knows that. So we'll wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, I just want to show you something. Now, I've never been an animal lover, certainly not a cat lover, but I took in a stray that was outside my back area because it looked at me like, help me, and then there was another stray that was actually born, and I think they're related because I think the mother had this baby and then had the other one that I have, and then she has three more. So she keeps going out and having more babies. I did call the Animal League people to come and get her fixed. I don't know how long that takes, but meanwhile, so I have the two cats, and I don't like the fact that you got to put the litter box inside the house and the food it gets all over the place. The cat goes in the box. They do what they do, and then they kind of do that burying the stuff, and then it goes everywhere. So I saw something online and grabbed my hammer and nails and wood, and I built this. It's called a catio, kind of like a patio, but for cats, so it's called a catio. And so now all the stuff is out in the catio, the little box, the food, the water I keep inside because I want it to stay cold because it does get warm out here. Cut a hole through the wall. So I have one of those little animal doors, little pet doors they go in and out of. And as you can see, my cat Lena here, she just loves going out there, and she sits up there and she just looks all around and she's comfortable. And when it gets too warm, she comes inside. And they're usually out there in the mornings and at night right now because of the heat during the day. And you can't see the other side of this catio, but I have a door. So all I have to do is open up the door and clean out the litter box. I don't have to bend over. It's like, belly level. I got the food right there, and I have one of those gravity feeders, so I really don't have to do anything anymore. Plus, if I leave for a day or two, I can just have them go in the catio, lock it up so they can't go in and out. Make sure they have enough to eat and drink and all that. And it's a lot better than when you have to take them to a boarding place, whether it's a vet that boards or a regular place that boards. I mean, they just get a little 2x2 cage. They can barely fit in it. At least here they can go up and down. They have a place where they fight, and the other cat goes up on the upper level, which this cat here, Lena, has not done that yet, but I'm sure she will at some point. But just wanted to share that. It's a great idea. Now my house doesn't smell of litter stuff, and plus you don't have to look at it, which is awesome. So and they love it. They can go out there and they jump up and climb the different sections, and if I go back to it, I might extend to the left of this catio. I'll extend it so it goes over to the wall, and they can then go through a chute and then walk outside and walk around and get some fresh air and see some birds. Right there I have a bird feeder, although I've yet to see a bird use it, but they love to watch birds. So there you go. As far as the season, Patrick Mahomes just got 45 million a year for 10 years. That's $450 million plus another 27 million somewhere that I think from his previous contract or whatever. So he's got a lot of money. Will he play out the whole 10 years? Usually no, unless he becomes like a Brady or someone. Thank God we didn't give Kirk Cousins a 10-year deal like that. I mean, I don't hate him, but is he? I don't know. I just don't know. This year we'll tell. I mean, he's got to do it now, or it's never. He's shown promises. He can make throws. Maybe he came into a situation where he had the diva wide receiver in the Diggs, and even the Thielen. Thielen gave him some lip a couple of years or so ago. Remember the last game with the Bears? They had that fight on the sideline. So, Thielen can be a diva, and maybe Kirk just needs to get his own guys and mold them into what he wants them to do. No egos, no diva, until they become a diva. And maybe that is what he needs and get us a Super Bowl. Let's see what happens. Let's hope we first have some kind of a season. I think the Players Association is going to ask some of the players to if they want to opt out. So that's going to be kind of weird. If you have a season and you don't have, let's say, 25% of the players who don't want to participate, is that going to look weird? I think so. And as a football player, do you ever want to say no to a season? Not to mention, if you opt out, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit around all season and wait for it. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I don't know. Just crazy times, and this virus will not go away. And they keep saying that it could last another 2 or 3 years. Um, that'll be that'll be interesting. But all in all, I don't. I mean, it's just there's just nothing to say. There's nothing to talk about. I don't know what to do. It's like there is going to be training camp, but maybe no preseason game, and right to regular season, but they might not have fans or some of the fans. Uh, I would like to know what other people are thinking. Again, this is just bizarre. But if you have a cat, build yourself a catio. That has been the best. It's just awesome. They go in there. It's like their own little hangout. I put all this stuff out there. I don't have to. I'm going to leave Friday coming up for like a couple of days, and I can just leave them here. And I don't have to worry about it. I do have someone that I can like rover.com. I have someone from that website that you book it, they come in and they just make sure it's alive and food and all that. So I will probably do that, but it's just an awesome catio. Get a catio if you have a cat. Or build a catio. I don't know what else to say. Let's scroll out. Scroll.